It was even a Sunday night. It didn't even twig with me, and and he says, all you have to ever do is just ask me. You don't have to do the sneaky thing, going in and out. He says, because if I went in and saw that your bed was empty, I would worry about you. And then I thought about it and went, well, but and then I said to him, if I asked you, if it was okay for me to be out all night with the bonfire, he says, maybe not every night, he said, but at the same time, I would rather know where you are than go into your bedroom and see your bed empty, and then have to go out looking for you. At least I would know then to go over, and it's true, it's absolutely true. And we'll put our parents through some real shit, like, but all innocent, I mean, there was never ever any harm being done. And I was only ever like about 20 meters away from the house. I also remember this time as well about I was 17 and I was playing rugby. I always played rugby for Armadale, and we were always doing well, because we had a really strong team. Armadale compared to Inst and Methody and my school were like, if you can consider Eton and Oxford and Cambridge, well, my school compared to them would have been like the Hounslow Secondary in London, over in England. But we had this really brilliant rugby team. One year we even reached the Schools Cup final, which was like, that. And we lost the Bangor. I cried, but I was in third form or whatever. But but by the time I reached 17, we had a great first team, and then I got a job as a trolley boy in Woolco in Newton, so I couldn't play for the main team anymore on Saturdays, and I had to go along and say to my teacher, I can't, and I was one of their go-to players. I was out on the wing, so, and a wee Speedy Gonzalez sort of thing. So he actually put together this team called the Social 15. Eric McConnell, yeah, and Doe Roberts and Davy Coffey, and they put together this Social 15, which meant that I could play against other teams on Wednesday afternoons, so that I could go and work then Friday, Saturday and Sunday, or Thursday night, Friday night and Sunday, or Saturday, pushing the trolleys or gathering up the trolleys, round by Woolco. But so I had to keep myself fit, for doing that, not the trolleys, for playing the rugby. And my dad said to me, I'm getting a bit plump, son. He says, maybe, because I went out and run, around the Craig Estate and up Dual Carriageway and everywhere, he says, I'm going to do that too. Now, but let's think, what age was my dad at that time? So he would have been maybe just in his early 40s, yeah, or whatever. It's still, young enough for it not to be a sort of a danger to him. And I'd heard this thing where if you put a bin bag on, punched holes in it in the head, sort of thing, and then you put a sweatshirt on over the top, and then you went out running, you sweated out your gut, sort of thing. And this day, me and my dad, he says, I'm gonna go. He says, but now you might be a wee bit in front of me, but I'll always be behind you. But I'll not be much behind you, but don't be going too fast. So we went up, round by North Bank, up Cooning Way, round by St Andrew's Church, round past the Rosetta, into the Rosetta. We had left the house, I think maybe 7 minutes, and we were in having 2 pints of Guinness. And that was our keep fit regime, father and son. But no, I wouldn't have it any other way. You look back on all brilliant memories. It's fantastic. I mean, one of the things I loved actually was whenever I was married, with the Margaret and stuff, and then my dad would he wanted to go down to the bar, down to the Hill Foot or something. But he didn't want to go by himself, so he would call around and he'd say, "John, do you want to go down for a wee, for a pint?" Um, and of course I would go with him, and it was always brilliant because it was always fun. And before, I mean, we went to the Hill Foot, and then we would come back up again, and then my dad would sit down. Two of us were, a few pints worse for wear. So, but my dad was hungry, and he'd always remember that I used to go in and say, "Right, I'm gonna make you something to eat, pops." And I would get the burger and the cheese and the lettuce and the tomato, and it wasn't done in a bap. It was done in two rounds of plain bread, and it was like about that thick, cut in half, but two of them. So we had, and at the end of a 5 or 6 pint or eight pint night, and you're sitting, starving. And then you've got this big thing. No wonder we ended up, having to go and run for 7 minutes to work things off. But love my dad with all my heart. So many more, sort of experiences with him. And it's I get emotional sometimes because we don't fully appreciate what. And by the way, Mom, if Cheryl shows you this, I'm gonna do one on you in a couple of days. So don't be thinking that this is all Dad and no Mum, because I've got exactly the same memories about you. But no, I say I always remember my dad being desperately proud of me for anything that I did. And when I won the wee trophy for English in Annandale, and he knew that I had done it against the odds because I wasn't supposed to do the exams because I was doing artwork, instead of English. So when I passed it, he thought that it was, just, the bee's knees. So he went with me that night to get the trophy presented to me for English language or whatever it was. And then afterwards we went to his band hall, and I had some shandies,